On Mesoma Ejikeme sets up investigation committee. Senate begins investigation into failure to complete East-West Road. On the foreign scene, 9 people injured in shooting in Washington, D.C. I am Constance Mega. The Rivers State House of Assembly has passed the 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Bill of 200 billion naira to execute the Port Harcourt Ring Road project. The bill went through its third reading after a 7-man ad hoc committee submitted reports of the public hearing held today. Well, after the chairman of the ad hoc committee and lawmaker representing Eleme constituency, Igwe Afoji, submitted the report, the lawmakers voted unanimously in favor of the bill.
Too much or adding too much. I think we should move forward and summarily execute our responsibility as it regards this bill.
Mr. Speaker, this morning I rise that this project is a unifier project. I therefore move to say we move to the next stage of this bill because there is no dissenting view, and what the committee did is in line with our order, especially order 50/22. So, Mr. Speaker, I move that we close debate on this particular report and move to the next stage of the passage of this bill. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Speaker of the House, Martin Amewule, explained the importance of the bill.
From the results so far, it shows that over two-thirds majority of members present and sitting, membership of 10% supports passage River State 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Bill into law. My dear colleagues, let me now, with your leave, say that the River State 2023 Appropriation Bill HA2 is a bill for a law to make provision for the services of River State for the year ending 31st day of December 2023 is hereby passed.
Our correspondent reports that the House later adjourned plenary to next week Monday. Now, earlier at the public hearing on the bill, correspondent Sobio Ruwari reports that the Commissioner of Works, Dax George Kelly, while submitting his Memorandum of Understanding, said the ring road will be completed in 3 years.
So this road is a well thought out one, not just raising the accessibility within and around the city, because it helps to reduce the traffic. With the local content part of it, our people will be gainfully employed, business will thrive, and it will have cumulative, and that is why this is very much germane at this point in time.
Also, the Commissioner of Education, Professor Chinedu Mom, Head of Service, George Nweke, and other state government officials spoke.
So this road is a well thought out one, not just raising the accessibility within and around the city, because it helps to reduce the traffic. With the local content part of it, our people will be gainfully employed, business will thrive, and it will have cumulative, and that is why this is very much germane at this point in time.
Governor of our state to kickstart this administration with this very wonderful project. The economic benefits are massive outside enhancing our capacity for free flow of goods and services. It also has massive employment blowouts.
If the bill is passed into law, it shall serve as a channel for infrastructural development, employment generation, and also provide conducive environment for.
Meanwhile, 2 members of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Emma Wike and Michael Chinda, said the Port Harcourt Ring Road will be beneficial to sporting activities in the state.
There are other aspects of my contribution. If you look at the history of road construction in River State, bicycle lane created for those who can ride bicycle. Riding bicycle does not mean that you are poor.
Issue and the fact that River State is seen as a one city state. And I think that with this construction of Port Harcourt Ring Road, it's going to open up the other sub of Port Harcourt, especially Eleme and some other areas. I think one of the things we need to gain, apart from the economic fact, is also the physical fitness. Part of it will be that at the end of the day, you can also use this for sports. So apart from the economic value, there's also a sports value.
The spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Iringekoko, says the case of the alleged rape of a 13-year-old girl has been transferred to the Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department, SCIID, Port Harcourt, for discreet investigation. On Sunday, the police arrested a 40-year-old man identified as Obadiah for allegedly defiling a girl at Ojike Street, Maiwan, Diobu, in Port Harcourt City local government area last Friday. Our correspondents gathered that Mr. Obadiah's neighbors reported him to the Maiwan Police Division. A gas explosion has left 2 persons severely injured around the Elekahia police station axis of Port Harcourt. An eyewitness said the incident happened after a generator under repair sparked at the back of a black market gas shop, where the 2 burn victims are reportedly receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital.
I was inside here, then all of a sudden, thing exploded. Then the both of them, then the guy came out. His body was spilled, and then the other guy, the man working the chain, was crawling, coming out. Then we carried them, pouring them egg, they took them to the hospital. They didn't die.
Our correspondent reports that the shop is currently locked, but no properties were affected. Moving on, the House of Representatives has asked the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAMB, to suspend its decision to withdraw the result of Mmesoma Ejikeme and the 3 years ban placed on her until the conclusion of its investigation. At plenary today, the lawmakers said the action of JAMB was unprofessional. They said the girl may have been manipulated by an adult, but the House also said it will set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the matter. Meanwhile, the Commissioner for Education in Anambra State, Professor Ngozi Chuma Ude, has denied inviting the DSS to arrest Mmesoma for alleged exam result forgery. The State Commissioner for Information, Paul Nwosu, spoke to our correspondent, Kenechukwu Ofoma, in Awka today.
She took her results to the Commissioner for Education because she was not happy that JAMB did not recognize her at the highest scorer. Now, on getting there, the Commissioner had to call JAMB to find out why she wasn't the highest scorer. And JAMB told her that the result was forged. It was at that point that JAMB now had to invite DSS to investigate the matter and release their findings to the public, contrary to what most people think.
In another development, the Dean of Students' Affairs at the University of Port Harcourt, Chima Nwokocha, says dressing constitutes part of the assessment for students. Professor Nwokocha said this in reaction to the threat issued to Christabel Okafor, a 200-level student of Linguistics and Communication Studies, by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor George Will Owunari.
When you see someone who dresses indecently, you think and know that the person is someone of very low character and not qualified for a degree in the university. Why will you expose your body? For what? And then when you are assaulted by a student, you scream. There are some of us who are controlled by what we see. This is an environment for learning. People need to concentrate. And so if anybody wants to dress indecently, skimpily, the person should go to where the environment allows it, not in the university. We will not accept that. And I want to tell you, the Knight Vice Chancellor, by the grace of God, Professor George Will Owunari, is a strict disciplinarian and an exemplary leader.
Well, he spoke about an orientation program for female students of the university.
President of the University of Port Harcourt, Professor Mrs. Udeme George Will, and my office ran a 1-week frank talk program with all the female students in the university. It was so dedicated that we did not gather all of them in one place. We went faculty by faculty. The deans were there, the faculty heads were there, the students can testify to that. And she spent at least 1.5 hours with each faculty, females only. She called it frank talk, mother to daughter talk with the girls. She would ask all the men, including myself, to leave. And these were the things she was emphasizing on.
Well, the Public Relations Officer of Uniport, Dr. Sam Kwenu, also spoke.
I also want to place on record that if you get into the University of Port Harcourt, you will see that there are billboards that talks about the dress code of the university. Placed strategically. If you go to the Off-River roundabout, you're going to see one. As you're entering into the compound, you see, go to Delta campus, and of course, a Delta gate, that gate leading into Abuja campus. You will see that all those things are there. And that is why it is very important for the students to take this into consideration. As they come into the university, please dress properly. It is part of the code of conduct for the students of the University of Port Harcourt.
Well, yesterday, a viral video showed the moment the Uniport Vice-Chancellor accosted a female student over her dressing. Still on education, a concerned parent in Port Harcourt, Ovi Chukwuma, is worried over the poor educational quality of some teachers handling children in both the public and private schools in the state. In an interview with our correspondent, Mr. Chukwuma says most children in schools today come out worse than they were as a result of unprofessional teachers.
No coordination in the public schools, no coordination in the private school. We don't actually know where we are heading to because our children are deformed. Most of them, if you look at them, you are afraid whether they can cope tomorrow because of kind of ill-formed education they received from these schools due to the level of education of those who are handling to train them. Some of them are master's degree holders. They can't even speak good English. Engineers cannot practice engineering. They end up in private schools. They end up teaching. Some of them cannot even communicate. It's a pathetic situation.
Well, Mr. Chukwuma also urged the government and other educational bodies to provide a national policy to improve the education sector. Still to come, Senate begins investigation into failure to complete East-West Road. Stay tuned.
The Eche Chartered Accountants Forum, ECAF, an association of chartered accountants from Eche ethnic nationality in Rivers State, heartily congratulate our senior member and a prominent son of Eche Nation, Sir George Wake.
Thank you for staying with us. President Bola Tinubu and the APC have closed their defense in the petition filed by Peter Obi and the Labour Party. Well, this is as the star witness and majority leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele, who is also a practicing attorney in the United States, in his evidence told the court that there is no record of criminal proceedings or conviction of President Tinubu in the United States. Meanwhile, President Tinubu today met with a former secretary to the government of the Federation, Anyim Pius Anyim, and a former national publicity secretary of the PDP, Olisa Metu, at the Aso Villa in Abuja. Well, the details of the meeting are not yet known. The Senate has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the consistent failure of governments to complete the East-West Road since 2006. The Senate set up the committee after considering a motion sponsored by Rivers State Senator Barinada Ampigi on the urgent need for construction of the Onne-Eleme axis of the East-West Road. Well, the Senate directed the committee to invite some of the stakeholders to give reasons for prolonged delays and abandonment of the project. In business, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, says it is investigating price-fixing attempts by points of sales POS agents and will sanction them if they are found guilty. Well, this follows recent announcements by the POS agents. On court said they have not increased their charges. In entertainment, U.S. actor Allison Mack has been released from prison early after serving 2 years for her role in a sex trafficking case tied to a cult-like group. The 40-year-old pleaded guilty to racketeering and conspiracy charges in April 2019 related to her efforts to recruit women to the sex cult. In sports, 100 meters hurdles world champion and world record holder Tobi Amoson is in Benin City, Edo State, competing in the national trials for the 2023 World Championships to be held in Budapest, Hungary. Amoson, who just won the 100 meters hurdles at the 2023 Diamond League in Sweden, made the revelation on her Facebook page today.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
9 people have been injured, including a 9-year-old and a 17-year-old, in a shooting early today. Well, this occurred as the victims were celebrating the 4th of July in Washington, D.C. The police say all 9 had non-life-threatening injuries after the shooting in the northeast quadrant of Washington, D.C. Now that's the news, but before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this evening, you heard that the Rivers State House of Assembly has passed the 200 billion naira supplementary appropriation bill. The police in Rivers State said the 40-year-old man accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in Diobo, Port Harcourt, has been transferred to the Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department. The House of Representatives has condemned JAMB's decision to ban Mesoma Ejikeme and set up a committee to investigate the alleged exams result forgery. The Senate has begun investigation into the failure to complete the East-West Road. And on the foreign scene, 9 people have been injured in a shooting in Washington, D.C. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. Rain is expected in Port Harcourt this evening. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. My name is Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. Good evening.